Itaewon shook again. But this time, it's not because of the vibe of a big concert or celebrity parade. These vibrations come from one very specific point. One corner of the city that has been quiet in recent months, the stately home of Jungkook, BTS's golden mean, who has been serving his country as an active soldier. But that morning, the atmosphere around his house felt very different. It wasn't just one or two fans standing outside the high fence of Jungkook's mansion. It was dozens, even hundreds. The cameras of the phones were pointing straight at one point, and the soldiers' eyes seemed to sparkle with curiosity. There are whispers. He said, "Is Jungkook coming back from the army?" One luxurious black car whose windows were tightly closed entered the automatic gate quietly. But the presence of the car actually provoked boisterous and spontaneous cries of fans who had been waiting since the early morning. Some even fainted. No faces could be seen behind the tinted windows, but one fan swore he saw a silhouette he knew very well. A tall posture, broad shoulders, and a distinctive relaxed sitting style. Not ordinary people. That's not staff. That's not a manager. That's it. Jungkook.is Jungkook really home? Or is this just a mass mind game due to accumulated longing? One thing is for sure, that morning became the beginning of an incredible frenzy that shook the virtual world. The keywords Jungkook is home, Jungkook's house, and Itaewon is crowded immediately dominated the global trending topics on Platform X, TikTok, and Instagram. Various videos and photos of the alleged black luxury car transporting Jungkook from military headquarters to his luxury home were scattered in seconds. One of the videos shows a person in a black hoodie quickly getting out of the car and going straight into the house. Although his face was not visible, his body movements, the way he stepped, even the way he held his cell phone, all fueled rumors that it was not an ordinary person. It was Jungkook. Who's back? But why is there no official statement from HYB? Why not a press release? Isn't the return of a superstar like Jungkook from the army supposed to be a moment of great celebration? It's those questions that open the door to conspiracy theories, hidden clues, and wild conjectures that make it all the more exciting and more emotional. Some army states that this is all no coincidence. A fan from Japan even claimed to have received information from the inner staff that Jungkook was indeed faster to finish because he served the army with outstanding performance and no record. Another source mentioned that it is possible that he received special leave for very private family reasons. But even more shocking news comes from the craziest speculation. Jungkook is deliberately secretly going home to avoid the spotlight, because he is putting together something much bigger than just a solo comeback. A former HYB staffer, who is now active in the secret community forums of K-pop fans, wrote mysteriously, "You don't know anything yet. Jungkook is back not just for a break. He's back to start a new chapter, but not as old Jungkook." Some entertainment journalists began to dig deeper. It was discovered that a few days before the crowd in front of Jungkook's house, several trucks transporting professional musical instruments and high-end recording studio equipment were seen entering the exclusive neighborhood where Jungkook's house was located. Not just one, but 4 trucks full of equipment. The observant army instantly connects the dots. Could it be that Jungkook is building a home studio for his new music project? But there is also much more controversial and surprising news. Several close neighbors who are usually reluctant to comment to the media voted this time. A middle-aged woman who claimed to be a neighbor of the complex said that since 2 nights ago, she heard loud music from inside Jungkook's house. "It's not a random sound," he says. "It's like a live band sound, with male vocals that I recognize very well. I thought, oh, that's Jungkook's voice. I'm absolutely sure. He's home." But HYB remains silent. Major media outlets are also reluctant to confirm. Why? Is this the new media strategy of South Korea's largest agency? Or are they afraid that Jungkook's untimely return will provoke legal controversy? Because as we know, the draft regulations in South Korea are very strict. Celebrities can't just walk out faster, except for a legitimate reason. If it is true that Jungkook is back and has not been officially announced, then HYB must have a very strong reason. Or, is this all part of a big game to shake up the Asian music industry? The army's feelings are now mixed. On the one hand, they are happy, sparkling, crying haru. "I cried when I saw the car enter the gate," said Hannah, a fan from Indonesia who flew directly to Korea just to wait for this moment. "When he comes home, it's like a dream." But on the other hand, many are also beginning to worry. Why is everything so quietly? Why isn't there a big welcome? Is Jungkook sick? Does he not want to appear in public? Or is something more serious going on Behind the speculation and excitement, there was also news that Jungkook chose to go home quietly because he wanted to avoid the crowds and pressure. For the past 2 years, he's been under tremendous pressure, not just as an international star, but also as a human being who is homesick, and wants to live a normal life. A close friend of Jungkook said in an unofficial podcast that Jungkook once said, "When I finish my military service, the first thing I want to do is sleep in my own bed without any noise, without the spotlight. I don't smile when I'm tired." Now it's all starting to make sense. Perhaps this is the beginning of Jungkook's great transformation. From an idol to whom the system was formed, to someone who wants complete control over his life. It could even be, over his career. Little clues began to appear on social media. Jungkook's Instagram account suddenly became active again. Without posting. Without a story. But the status is online. Fans who noticed this immediately panicked. Oppa online. But not post. Why? And what's even more surprising, some of Korea's top artists also seem to like several of Jungkook's old posts at the same time, as if to signal that they know, and are waiting. The answer may not be simply yes or no. Because it's more than a physical homecoming, it feels like an emotional awakening of an artist who has been silenced by routine and system. This was a silent move that actually shook the entire entertainment industry. And ARMY, those loyal fans, know full well, this isn't normal. The sky of Itaewon that afternoon looked gray, as if it were conspiring in this unfinished story. Outside Jungkook's house, fans were still standing, some holding on since morning, relying only on mineral water and hope. Several others began to discuss quietly, drawing up theory after theory about what was really happening behind the solid walls of the idol's luxurious mansion. But nobody really knows. Only one thing is certain: this unnatural atmosphere could not have been due to an ordinary visit or a family member. This clearly indicates something bigger, something to hide, something that might be planned. One thing that makes netizens' hearts beat faster is a cryptic upload from the official Big Hit Music account. On that night, at 0000 KST, there was only one upload, a solid black picture with a small white inscription in the center: "He's home." There is no name, no hashtags, no explanation. But the whole world knows it's not about anyone but Jungkook. Suddenly, the hashtag he is home went global, trending #1 in Korea, Indonesia, Japan, and even entered the top 5 in the United States. Thousands of tweets, thousands of cries, thousands of wild theories flooded social media. ARMY exploded. They were screaming, crying, happy, but also scared. Afraid of what will happen after this. Because for the ARMY, it's not just about Jungkook coming home. It's about what he's going to do next. Will he make a solo comeback? Or retire quietly? Is he preparing a new project with another BTS member? Or even choose a private life, away from the spotlight?